I have been given a topic which says parents and the falling standard of education in Nigeria. Parents and the falling standard of education in Nigeria. When I came in the morning, I was told this program was to start by 9. I was asking myself, where are the parents I'm going to be talking to? Because this is actually what we are supposed to be talking about. As a teacher in Federal Polytechnic, Kaura and Moda, we go through hell. We go through hell trying to bring up the students that come to us. You see students with fine results, A's everywhere. When you come to class, you ask them to make a sentence. They fail to do that. So it's something that should worry each and every one of us, including parents. Because these same children will later come to become parents of kids. So let me first start by defining some of the concepts. Here, I'm going to be defining who a parent is. I'm going to be talking about what education is. And I'm going to be talking about standard. I'm going to be defining these concepts, clarifying them so that we all understand, especially the parents. Education. I'm going to be giving us a layman's definition, clarification. Education is just a transmission of knowledge, skills, and character traits. Transmission of knowledge, skills, and character traits. And this education we are talking about manifests in various forms. We have what we call the formal education. Formal education occurs like the school here. It's a structured education. It follows a particular curriculum and it is given under classroom teacher-student relationship. Then we have the normal formal education. The normal formal education is also structured. But then it does not follow, it happens outside the formal school environment. Like when you go for a workshop, when you go for conferences and all the rest of them, you learn there. It's a non-formal education. Then we have the informal education. Informal education is an unstructured education, learning, which takes place in our everyday life, in our everyday activities. It takes place in the kitchen, it takes place at home, it takes place on the field of play, it takes place in the market, it takes place in car parks, garages, and all the rest of them. Outside the school environment, it takes place in everywhere we see ourselves. We tend to learn one or two things. That is informal education. So having clarified what education, I want us to bear this in mind because it's going to help us by the time I delve into the main issue of discussion. What is standard? Standard refers to an acceptable level of quality. Acceptable level of quality, quality of a product, quality of a service, quality of your engagement, quality of your presentation is a standard. When you have presented or you have given out a service and that service is said to be of high quality, we say it is of standard. But when you give out a product that is below standard, we say it is a substandard product. And most of us reject substandard products. We say it is inferior. So the implication is that when we are talking about the falling standard of education in Nigeria, we are saying that the knowledge we are transmitting, we are saying that the skills we are transmitting, we are saying that the character traits that we are transmitting to the learners is below standard, is inferior and unacceptable. And therefore, this should call for concern of all stakeholders, especially the parents. Especially the parents. Who is a parent? A parent is a father or a mother. Anybody who has procreated another person is a parent. And when you have procreated somebody, you are expected to guide such a person, you are expected to guard such a person, you are expected to protect such a person that you have brought to life. So having done these clarifications, let me now go into the main discussion of the day. Let me, by way of introduction, I want to say my discussion today is going to be based. There are three premises under which I am going to be discussing this topic. The premise one, there are three things. It is given, it is a given. All of us agree with it. One is that there is no parent here. There is no father, there is no mother, there is no foster parent that does not want his or her children to find success in life. There is no parent here that does not want his or her child to find happiness in life. There is no parent here that does not want his or her child to find fulfillment in life. And if you want your child to find success, to find fulfillment, to find happiness, education is the key. Education is the key. The second basis of my discussion today is that education begins when a person is born. Education begins at birth. Therefore, parents become the first school of that child. Parents become the first school of that child. And following this is the third premise, which says that parents, because you are the first school of the child, you serve as a major influence on your children's educational pursuits. If your child is doing well in school, it is because of you. If your child is doing badly in school, it is also because of the parents. And we must all accept this. Because since the family is the first school of the child, the conduct of the child comes from the family. You cannot send what you have. You cannot send your child outside and expect an external body to train up your child better than you have done. So based on these three premises, I want to say that essentially what education does, or what education is expected to do, is to socialize our children into the society by instilling in them values and norms, which is going to help them in their life, by equipping them with the necessary skills that they need to succeed in life, by giving them all necessary things they need to become successful members of the society, productive members of the society. However, there are so many influences, there are so many things that come into play that influence educational success. There are so many things. I just want to point out a few of them. One is psychological factors. The way and manner you motivate your child, the intelligence shown in the family, the personality of your child, that is the psychological factors. All these things influence his or her success in his or her educational pursuits. Then we have the child goes to school the following day, and because the child has failed to do his or her assignment, once the teacher of such a subject is entering the class, the child looks for a way out of the class because he is afraid or she is afraid of the punishment that the teacher will give to him or her. That is, we have failed to encourage and support reading, writing, and study culture at home. We cannot think that everything about education begins in the school and ends in the school. and still expect standard of education to rise. Another issue is this, what will I even call it? Finish quick syndrome. Finish early syndrome. A child is in 4 years, he has started primary 1. By the time the child is 10 years, by the time he is 9 years in primary 5, you want him to go to secondary school immediately without maturity. Because you want the child to finish early. Where is the child rushing to? Where is he or she rushing to? At the end of the day, he or she will reach there and wait for others, wait for her mates or his mates, whether you like it or not. That is nature. He will reach there, but he or she must wait for his mates to come up, or even surpass her, because he or she was not ready for what you want him or her to do.